And we are waiting to see how Iran responds to Israel's attack on its nuclear sites.
The scale of Israel's attack has surprised a lot of observers here. There are now major questions of how the U.S. might be involved.
Cecile Shea with the Chicago Council of Global Affairs is with us this morning. Good morning, Cecile. Do you think that Israel had specific intel that Iran was on the brink of having a nuclear weapon, and maybe that's why they felt like they had to act now?
Well, the Europeans have been saying for months that Iran is continuing to enrich uranium and that their program is moving ahead very quickly. Whether or not Israel knew that or thought that Iran might have specific information or specific ability to launch a weapon in the near future, I kind of doubt that. I think that what Israel has done in the past with Iraq and with other countries is try to cut off the program early enough that they don't get that close to a possible bomb. We may find out more in the near future, but I suspect that Israel, like a lot of other countries, just decided that the program was moving ahead too quickly.
Yeah, and Marco Rubio immediately put out a statement saying the U.S. was not involved in the attack in any way. He warned Iran not to target American forces, but he didn't go so far as to say that America was backing Israel. Can you talk about leaving that part out of the statement and what kind of chance the U.S. could get pulled into this is?
Well, what we know is that for several weeks, President Trump has very strongly been telling Prime Minister Netanyahu not to attack Iran. And, you know, I do a lot of weekend TV shows on Middle Eastern television, cable network news, and everyone has been talking about that, about the pressure from President Trump on Iran, or rather on Iran, of course, but also on Israel not to attack Iran. So unless President Trump backtracked in the last week, and he's issuing statements today that maybe make it sound like he knew this was going to happen, but then he says he didn't know it was going to happen. So I don't think we really know yet. But what is true is that we really were trying to come to some kind of negotiated settlement with Iran, and this attack makes it more complicated.
All right, Cecile, one more question before we let you go. Israel says the attack was to prevent Iran from developing nuclear weapons. Do we have any sense yet if these strikes will do anything to slow down their plans, or is it simply just too early to say?
Well, the strikes on people, which are a reminder of just how good Israel's intelligence services are, you know, they've really decapitated Iran's senior levels of military leadership, and they're continuing to attack now air bases and other facilities. So the harm to the military itself and to some of the government echelons is pretty extreme, so that may slow it down. They have not hit the most important target because it's in the middle of a mountain near Qum, and Israel probably doesn't have the ability to hit that target. But yes, they've slowed down the program, and hopefully they have now encouraged Iran to go back to the negotiating table. We'll see if that happens, and if we can make some progress on some kind of long-term deal with Iran on the nuclear question.
Well, Cecile, you are such a wealth of knowledge. We appreciate always being able to call on you to make sense of what's taking place in the world.
Well, thank you, and good morning, everyone.